Once upon a time, a young wolf bought a game called Oblivion. Then I came to learn that my computer physically couldn't run it, the specs I had at the time equivalent to a piece of corn left to rot in a dilapidated factory. I learned that the only way I could play the game was if there was no enemies on screen, or if I didn't let it run for too long. Basically, I used a teleport code so that I could try and piece together the story, and it didn't work. I had fuck all idea what was going on. So now, me, older, far more miserable and a lot fatter, will now finally play Oblivion. We begin the game with the character menu. Legally, I think I have to be a Khajiit on account of being a wolf. Unfortunately for me, I don't know what kind of abomination I created, because it was bugged and I was crouching. I created, essentially, what it looks like when a dog is stung by a bee. You start the game in prison, like most prisoners, learning how to be a better criminal. Naturally, I've been to prison loads of times for what I did in Liberia in the 80s, so I will show you the ropes, don't you worry, kid. This dickhead keeps goading me, like I'm not cooking up the nastiest piece of prison napalm Cyrodill has ever seen. The Emperor comes to visit my cell, like Prince Andrew checking on his good pal Geoffrey. "I've seen you in my dreams," he says. It's not going to work, mate. I've said that loads of times, and all it gets you is pepper spray and a punch. You get a law dump from Patrick Stewart, stepping in for the easiest payday in acting history. I hit him with the, "Why am I in jail? I didn't do anything wrong." And he's like, "What you've done doesn't matter." Okay. Please speculate in the comments what you think I'm locked up for, and later on I'll tell you if you're right. Naturally, I immediately punch the Emperor in the back of the head, certifying me as a prison legend. The assassins attack, and how dare they? That's my Emperor. And I'm pushed to go off on my own, alone and scared. I save some delicious rat meat for later, in case I get peckish. I channel my inner goblin slayer and go fucking apeshit. Escaping the sewers, I emerge and see the Emperor's bodyguards being attacked. Naturally, I do absolutely nothing to help, watching from above like Ezio. I tell him the gods can suck a fat one, and I pick my star sign like a single mother. I go for extra speed, likely to flee from my unmentionable crimes. This loser babbles on like a missionary on South Sentinelese Island, moments before they're filled with literally hundreds of arrows. The Emperor just gives me his sweet amulet and tells me to take it somewhere. I'm taking it to this guy, obviously.
I'd give you like $70 for it, man.
No, shit. I have looked through the classes and decided to pick the most criminal one possible. Why? No reason. I escape the sewer and I am released, the scourge of Cyrodill unleashed on the public once more. There's only one of us that can be the Alpha. On guard. In the Elder Scrolls franchises, you have various guilds, so as I promptly ignore the main quest, I wondered which I should partake in. The Noble Mage Guild, arch-wizards of incredible power, all of them the pinnacle of magic, and all of them giant big pussies. The Fighters Guild, the Joe Schmo, busy work, probably won't bother. The Thieves Guild, now we're talking. Noble hoodlums who steal from the wealthy and the corrupt. At least that's what I say when the boss is watching. The rest totally fair game. What does this young family need silverware for? It would look far better in my pocket. I reckon the guards would be like Gollum and Bilbo doing riddles, until I hit them with the, "Oh, what do I have in my pocket?" The guards, stumped by my question, promptly beating me near to death and throwing me in prison, and finding out that the answer was his mother's gold teeth that I'd pulled from her while she slept. Lastly, the Dark Brotherhood, assassins beholden to a dark and forbidden god. Yes, that seems most intriguing. Considering I intend to murder my way across the continent, I might as well claim some expenses while I'm at it. The main quest is about saving the world or some shit, I've no idea. I might as well drop this necklace off as I don't want to get caught lacking by my ops, as they snatch my chain and go on a podcast wearing it like a rapper. It's wondrous to actually play Oblivion rather than experience it via mouldy flickbook like before. It looks lovely. Immediately I got distracted by caves and ruins, stopping off to kill a necromancer until I came across what I believed was an abandoned village. I immediately began stealing things, only to learn that the residents had been turned invisible. Oh shit. Luckily I'd already eaten all of the corn I stole, leaving no trace. The perfect crime. It seems like they've not fully taken advantage of this special invisibility power, so what I would say to get off my penis! Side note, I got called Unk on TikTok, which I believe is an affectionate term for an elderly black man, and so I accept my newfound position to the pantheon of black heroes featuring MLK, Malcolm X, Jordan, And lastly, me. I go and track down the lad in the castle, and he just gives me a scroll that fixes the issue. I imagine something occurs here, some humorous jest, but I just bounced instead. I travelled around the Gold Road, slaying upstart wolves and the occasional bandit. I arrived at glorious Wayland Priory, and I'm told to find some lad called Martin. Right, okay. This guy is the Grand Master of the Imperial Secret Bodyguard, and he sends my stinky ass to go get the most important person in the world and make sure they're not dead. I check their wine supplies to see if any of it has been spiked or poisoned by those dastardly cult members, and I drink it all like Mau Mau. I bounce cave to cave before getting restless for my sweet boy Martin. I did go to one castle where I drank 4 wines, and thought I got so shit-faced I couldn't move, but really I just fat-fingered my caps key. I do a detour around the nearby settlements and sign up for the Mages Guild, where they just immediately bombarded my emails with shitty newsletters. I have a quick citizen's check-in on the church, having a quick scan in its basement for captured children as part of my civic duty, only stopping momentarily to steal some pears. I arrive at this shithole called Kvatch, and they're like, oh me, the gates of hell have opened up outside my bedroom. Very needy. I bravely go in to investigate the attack, as that means lots of unguarded pantries. I start headshotting imps because I'm just so fucking cold with it. I head into the Hellgate and finally realise what it's like to be in Scunthorpe. I mow my way through hell like the Doomslayer. This guy's like, oh hero, you must quicken to the great sigil. You have no time to free me. I think I could have. I just chose not to. Remember, less guards for the pantry. Here I demonstrate the wild, patented get-out-of-the-way manoeuvre, very advanced wolf tech. I close the doors to the gates of Scunthorpe, and I rally these dorks to an assault on the castle. Noble cheeses and wines awaiting me in its halls. So close. I meet this Martin lad, who I think is the God Emperor, imbued with dragon blood, but fuck, I want the cheese. And Sean Bean is like, oh, good to cheese, is it? I kick my way through the castle halls, and sadly, no cheese, though I do rob the Count of his cloak and ring. They start hitting yippies after my momentary Imperial Guard retinue tore through their numbers, like the only bear at a twink convention. I have thus decided to patent the pew-pew bonk technique of sneak shot, follow-up shot, and then melee. This is my modus operandi, basically. The Imperial Bureau of Investigation slowly building my case file as my exploits increase. I fast travel back to the Priory because fuck you. There I defeat some mythic Dawn cultists, which sounds like a Bellend WoW guild. I nobly requisition this guy's valuables, of course. We find Jack, or whatever the fuck he's called, and he's like, oh shit, they got the amulet. Consolation prize, we have Sean Bean, who I'm quite frankly stunned isn't dead already. Shaq says, we must go to the hidden temple, hero. You should take this lad's horse. He's not going to need it anymore. To add insult to injury, I strip him naked and start wearing his shoes. I fast travel there, obviously. These idiots at Broomer apparently have no idea this fuck-off castle is here, apparently a secret temple. So either they're blinded by burning coals as children, or they lack object permanence like babies. We get to the top, me gasping for air, really lacking on my cardio. Bow down to His Majesty. This guy, who may I remind you is a priest, is like, oh, I'm not used to speeches. Okay. They all salute and I just stand there T-posing, eagerly anticipating the loot within the secret temple. Martin shares his dad's shit-faced eyes. The Septon line, easily confused with people on meth benders, apparently. I accept my noble position as a blade of the Emperor, and thus what I hope will be immunity from prosecution in the future. They say help yourself to the arms and armour in the East Wing, leading me to believe that there's something in the West Wing they're trying to hide from me. And there we are. Exactly what I've been seeking. No, you fool, not trinkets or gold. Jeez. I aura farm by the fire for a bit before heading off to the big city to make it big. I immediately see a poster for the arena and head there straight away. This dick is pointing at something, but who knows what. I put 25 on blue, and they better not fuck it up lest I take matters into my own hands.
My friends, we have a winner!
I dispatched this yellow scum with a little bit of issue, but I survived the arena. Mistakenly, I did not put trust in my pew-pew bonk technique. Grave error. I speak to the champion, he's like, oh, I trained so much. Who can investigate my family? The truth of my parentage? Fucking me, probably. I head off to some dungeon and get assailed by a vampire. I beat his Edward Cullen ass and turn him into dust where he belongs. His dad is the vampire. Shock. Horror. The product of an orc and a vampire. something I've combined the names of to be a vamporker, which is what I'd be if they existed. The eternal damnation well worth the spooky pussy, I assure you. Sorry, Dad. I only agreed to this so long as he gave me training, as I'm basically the drizzling shits at melee. Better go break the bad news to him. I took his dad's vampire dust with me, so if he starts getting pissy at me, I can start seasoning my food with his da. At this point I realised that I'm supposed to be saving the world or some shit, but I got distracted by giving this guy devastating paternity results, like it's fucking Maury. So I can inherit Casa El shithole in its nice cosy bed. Security, well handled by the souls of the damned, and a few well-fed rats. If you like this bollock so far, then feel free to comment and subscribe or some shit, I don't know. I'm 2 bad videos away from doing these dumbass YouTuber faces, believe me. Oh shit. I get back to the arena, and Vamporka is not taking it well. I take my stat boosts and leave him to his mental health crisis. I pick up on this woman and she's like, "Oh, this fella's got some very cheap goods. Where's he getting them from? Who knows?" At first I was on board, sensing endorsed theft, and she's like, "Well, I'm a part of the Concerned Merchants Organisation." Oh, a Karen, so I robbed her blind. Gonna need a fence, I guess, so I followed this little bastard as long as I could. I witnessed a rendezvous from roughly a foot away, and they're absolutely none the wiser. My stealth comparable to Sam Fisher at this point. I follow this guy, and what's this? He's trying to shake my tail. Nice try, bozo. As a British man, he has absolutely no chance of getting rid of me, having been genetically predisposed to stalking people in rainy alleys. I follow him back to his house, and considering I have 1 lockpick left, I thought I'd momentarily help save the world whilst I take a break from burgling. I try asking for rumours, and he's like, "Ooh, I don't know you well enough." I give him 10 gold, and he's like, "Oh, here's some illegal shrines I know about. Good luck." Boas, as I call him, is glowing green, so I assume he smells like shit. We tag team some cult scum in a basement, and he sends me off to talk to some teacher, so I guess I'm back to school. We leave the dead guy in the basement for 10 gold guy to deal with. I notice here that I'm running like an ice skater. Apparently we need all 4 volumes of Mein Kampf to find the nerd cult. They just hand me volume 2, and I have to harass a local shopkeeper for the other 2. My specialty. Apparently this elven fellow is coming to get copy free. Here are a few choices of what I could do. Option 1. Buy the book. Nah. Option 2. Convince this fellow to hand me the book. 3. Other means. If you're wondering what other means are, then allow me to demonstrate. Me and Boras crash the nerd cult meetup and jack the 4th book. Easy. Anyway, back to the main quest, which is thieving. I crash this dastardly grave robber meetup, and they don't even cut me in on the hustle. Naturally, I kill them and gather the proof. Uh-oh, it appears my murdering has not gone unnoticed, and this spooky fuck turns up. I have a proposal for you. Yo, join the Dark Brotherhood. See, I told you I was a black icon. I collect my measly pay from the Karen Society for a job well done, and it dawns on me that she looks like Alabama Shadowheart. I return to my Dark Brotherhood mission as I wait for the lizard dork to read a book. Suddenly I see a Khajiit, my kin, beset by banditos. This will not do. She offers her thanks and owes me a life debt. Later I'm punching mages like all Chads do. And what's this? In my darkest hour, who comes to my aid? My beloved. Her life debt pays, she continues on her way. Suddenly I have a choice to make. Do I save the world and enter the Hellgate on my left, or do I continue murdering an old man in his sleep? Let me mull it over. What adventures will Wolf encounter next? Well, I don't fucking know, do I? Bye!